build with Mr. Lee. In today's video tutorial, we are going to be actually updating our categories. So if you actually have not been following the video from the beginning, we are actually having a CRUD operation. We're carrying out a CRUD operation on our categories on TC blog. So we've been able to create in part 1 and part 2. This part 3 are going to be updating. So now to update simply also means to edit. So on our category.blade.php, there's a modal currently for the edit. So let's look for this modal. So below you're actually going to see, if you scroll down, you're going to see a modal with an ID edit categories. If you go to the table, you're actually going to still see bx database target edit underscore category. So this target is targeting the ID. You're going to see the ID here, edit categories. So right now, first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to change this form inside here to look as the form inside the add categories. So we are going to copy this form from here and paste it on this other form, such that if we actually click currently, the form we're going to be seeing is a form that has just here category name and status. Now, each of these this thing row you're actually seeing here is a role inside database. So if I refresh on the database, you're going to see each of the row here is a role in the database. So it means if I want to edit any of this particular role, if I want to edit act, it means I have to have a modal act. Same thing for science. So each of these guys are supposed to have individual modal, but currently they all have one modal, which is not a good practice for us at the moment. So for us to actually make each of these guys have different modal, is what we need to do is that even inside our edit categories modal, we're supposed to have a for each loop. Now the for each is going to be the same, it's going to be a for each for categories. So for each categories as item, as category, so we are going to have a modal for each of the rows inside our category table. So now in the category name, we are going to give it the value of our category as category arrow name. And also for our select, so for the select, you actually have to specify, since we have selected, we want the one that is actually selected from the database to be selected. So we are going to be using itinerary operator here. So we choose for our category arrow status of this option. So arrow status, if category arrow status is equal to, if it is equal to active, then the selected attribute should be added to it. Let's remove this from here and let's put it inside here. Else, it should not actually be selected, so it should be empty. So we'll do the same thing for inactive. So copy this and we'll paste here. If category status is equal to inactive, then it should be selected. Sorry, this ternary operator, so it should be a colon. So that being said, we can actually refresh our page and see how it works. So click on this and click on edit. We can actually see that this is showing act. If you click on this and click on the edit, oh, this is still showing act. So there's an issue because this is supposed to show culture. If you click on this also, this is still showing act. So something is actually wrong. It means the form is actually just the modal is just seeing the first category. So for us to solve this problem, you have to um, give a unique, you have to attach a unique character to the ID of your this DB database target. You have to add a unique ID, a unique character. Let's use the ID as a unique character. So for every this we are going to put category arrow ID. So I put a hyphen here and I put the category ID. So also on my respective modal, each of the ID is going to have an arrow and their respective category arrow ID. So if we go back to this page and we refresh, let's confirm if it is working. So I click on act, I click on edit, I'm seeing act. Let me click on culture and edit culture. Yes, I can see culture now. Let's look at education. Education is showing, so it's actually working. Science is showing. So the next thing here is the action of our form. So once that this has been handled, we are going to actually going to look at the action of our form. Now in your Laravel this thing, let's go to Eloquent. Now in Eloquent, there is a part for updates. This for updates. So if you want to update, there's a method called find. So this is your model. There's a method called find. We are going to actually be using this method. But now this one inside our method would be the ID of the category. Let's see how we can actually do that. So for us to do this, we have to first of all create a route for update. So the route, let me just copy this and paste it below here. Sorry, let me copy rightly. So the route for updating is called a put route. Put. So we change this to put. So we'll call this update categories. Then instead of store here, we are going to change this to update. And we are going to call admin categories dot update. So we are going to go to the admin category controller. We are going to create our. So one other important thing about route, this put route accept a parameter like what we checked here. You're going to find something. So it's accept a parameter called an ID. So this is how you actually add a parameter to your route. So you use a curly brace and you put the ID. So now inside our update, inside the update, we're going to be, wait, let's create the method public function. Let's call it update. And this function is going to be have a request. And thirdly, the function would have accept a parameter called ID, not returning. So with the same thing, we're actually going to validate. I don't think there's a need for validation at the moment. Let's not just validate, no need for validation. But if you want this thing to be validated, you can actually add validation. Me, I'm not actually seeing a need for validation. So after this, the next thing we are going to do is to get the particular category we want. So we call it category is equal to inside the category model, we are going to find this particular ID. So what I'm going to do is just to DD this. I'm going to DD this category to confirm that this actually conforms with what we are sending from the form on the front end. So now on the edit categories, we change this to update. Remember on your web.php, we admin.categories.update. Now the method here we are going to be using is post, but on the this what we specified is put. So HTML does not have any put methods, but there's something called method spoofing in Laravel. So to spoof a method, you're actually going to use that method here. So we are going to be using that method blade directive, and we are going to call it put. So this is actually telling blade that this route is a put route. So once we've done that, um, let's actually submit this form and see if it is going to if we actually got the one for where is this guy, if we actually got the one for act, let's see if act is going to be showing on our dump and die. So let's go back to the form, let's refresh this page. Currently there's an error. It said missing required parameter for route. So we actually did call the route on this categories.update, but we didn't put the parameters. Look at it here, there's a parameter here. So for us to put parameter, this how to put parameter, add the parameter as a argument to the route method. So the parameter we're adding here is the category or ID. So let's refresh. Let's see if it works. So it's working. So we come over to this edit act and let's just change, let's leave it as if changes now, and let's see if it works. So fine, it's working. You can actually see that what we are actually getting on this our dump and die is actually a collection. You can see the collection and the name of the reason is act. So this is actually working very fine. So for the update, let's also look at their methods. You can actually see if they want to change the name, they actually change the name to what they want, but I want something for updates. Yes. For update, we are going to be using this method here, which is the update. So we are going to, since we've gotten the category, we are going to use category arrow update. So we are going to make an associative array inside. So what are we updating? If there's a name, just update the name. Request name. And if there is a status, you just update the status. So put request status. Sorry, it's an array, so it's comma. So after everything, we're actually going to return back with sources. We're going to return back with sources. So basically this with keyword is not actually working. We are going to make it work on the last video. But if everything being equal, this update should actually work. So I've removed the dd. Let me refresh this, and it said name cannot be null. So this the same, I think it should be the same issue we're having before. The name we specified there is category name. So this is supposed to be category underscore name. So let's see that. So this working, let's say I want to edit the act from act to artwork. And let's see if it will work fine. If this is updating. Yes, so you can actually see that we've been able to successfully update. So let me make this stuff let me change this to inactive and let's see if this is going to work. Change the status to inactive. You can actually see your status is inactive now. And if we come to the edit, you can see inactive is showing here based on what we did on the select tag here, where we say if category status is equal to inactive, it should show selected. So I think that's it for this video. The last video would be to delete from our categories. So thank you for staying to this time. Do well to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Hit the notification bell too to get notified each time I upload a new video. See you in my next video.